So again, the typing procedure is coming from largely a position of pain for the other people. It's not the person's point of view of they're so good at this, therefore I'm that type. This isn't Myers-Briggs. This isn't astrology. I'm so good at this, says me, therefore I'm that type. That's not at all how we do this here. All right, I just got some random thoughts on the typing procedure, kind of where we're at. Just kind of want to share what's working for us here. So we have a couple of people that we're training. We've been training one for the past year, and then the second one for the past few months. And so we're training them on like not to type to 512. Like that was one of the first things they're trying to do. They're trying to get all the way to 512. Just like you see everybody on Facebook and stuff. Like, here's my exact type. And you're like, hey, could you just say you're not a decider and play it safe, right? So we've had to do some training on like, hey, stop trying to go to 512 until you've eventually earned one coin at a time. So we train them on like, you're only allowed to do 3 coins. So anyways, getting all that figured out, we're trying to figure out how to work as a team so we can be able to type people faster, accurate. We got plenty of problems, blah, blah, blah. It's in the works, but it's been kind of fun. So the thing that we're really finding is getting to the core, especially when I'm working with the younger people here. And I'm also watching what they're doing, what they're messing up on is what I see everybody in the Facebook and personality community doing. Is they'll take anecdotes, and it's not just sensory, because I'll see all types do this. The intuitives do it just as bad. But let's just use the word sensory. So everybody will sensor type or anecdote type or take liar talk, right? And they'll be like, well, this person said, they had a birthday party and they were surprised. So, they're demon OE. You're like, what? Yeah, this person said at the birthday party they were really drained, so they're an introvert. You're like, wait, what? Yeah, this person said they really like to organize their closet, so they're savior OI. You're like, wait, whoa, what are you doing? Like, well, what? The person said all this. And you'll even see, like, the Facebook communities will, like, they'll take people's videos and, like as a tribe, they'll all try and type them. And a lot of times they'll get very similar types of each other in that group, but it's way off from Dave and Shan. Why? Because Dave and Shan are like, you're lying, you're bullshitting, you're unconscious, you're not seeing your true self, or you'll see, like, an IP come in, and they'll be like, hey, double observing, because I don't want to talk about tribe issues. So you have an IP that never will share the tribe shit. They'll only share double observing. They'll be like, yeah, that control chaos issue is really bad, isn't it? And all the Facebook group be like, oh, observer. And you're like, hey. You got to put the pressure on yourself. You got to put the pressure on yourself and the pressure on the patterns. And I know this is horrible because this is basically my saviors. You have to do abstract and you have to be the DI, which makes sense why I was like one of the first ones to figure this shit out. Because I'm like, this seems pretty obvious to me. You don't listen to people's liar words. They're very unconscious. They don't know who they are in the tribe, which is why they have so much depression and anxiety. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the negative? It's like, hey, you're an abusive, crazy, extroverted, sleep last ass, and everybody in your life is fucking annoyed at you. Like, you duh, right? No, I'm sleep first. Like, oh, we're playing the lie to yourself game? And that's why this has then become so traumatizing, because people go, that's not me, because what you're asking for is the person to go, I've been lying to myself my whole life. I don't really know who I am on the outside. If I'm really this person, well then I'm not the victim. They're the victim. Because if this is really me, then I'm doing this to everybody else, which makes sense why I'm getting so much hell back on my life. And you're like, yeah, keep going, right? And that's the truth of this objective personality typing is like your reoccurring problems. Not talking about this one thing that happened randomly. Like this is one, there are bad things that happen out of nowhere, right? Or abusive people. Like there's shit that is out of your control that does happen. I'm talking about the 99% of life reoccurring problems. If you're constantly feeling anxiety, constantly feeling depressed, constantly feeling like a victim, constantly not knowing what to do, that is because you're fucking yourself over and you can't see it. That's the joke, dude. You can't see it. So people will send us our videos, their videos, and they're like, hey, did you watch all of my 2 hours? Because if you didn't watch all of my 2 hours, you didn't hear my censor point of view from my liar mouth about specific details about myself from my point of view. And if you didn't get those specific details about myself from my point of view, then you obviously got my type wrong because you didn't get to know the real me. And I'm just going, I don't know how else to say this. I just don't know how the fuck, like, there is about 10% of people are like, they're getting it, they're laughing their ass off, they're crying, they totally get it. But there is a good amount of people, especially people that have only been about a year or so, they're like, what? Like, they don't get the joke. They don't get the joke, right? So let me go through this Google Sheets real quick, and this is just where we're at now. This is subject to change, subject to evolve. Like, as the two new people here beat the hell out of it and break it, I'll be revising it, etc. And so once we get it kind of dialed in, I'll be able to share it more, etc. Right? So it's basically like when I'm sitting down to type somebody, I'm responsible to know what story am I listening to. Am I listening to a Dave Power story where it's the same old boring shit from his point of view? Or am I listening to a Shanny story where it's this guy and then that happened and then he and then they did and she and this random thing and out of context and then they did and blame on them? Is it a play story? Now, how do you know that? You don't know that from, well, they said this word. Well, they said that sentence. Well, they said that thing. You know that by opening up their video, putting it at 1.5 speed, hitting play, and just sitting there. Sharpen your knife, kind of pay attention, check the weather. Just take them in, get to know them. These are somebody that came over to your house, and don't sit there and pick at every word they're saying because you're in a goddamn hurry. I'm the fastest one at typing over here because I'm the slowest one at typing over here. I see everybody, like on our team, we'll just speak for our team, but it's the same thing out there, is like, they're such in a hurry that they fuck it off so bad. And I'm just not in a hurry, which is why I end up going so fast. Because I'm like, I don't mind sitting here going into my super demon of consuming this person just in a calm state. This is like so hard for me to do, to train to learn how to do this. I'm going to just sit here and not try and force it. Not try and overanalyze it. Not try and jump to conclusions, which is why typing is so draining. I know it's draining for me. It's draining for the other people here. If you're doing typing right, you're going to have to activate your demons, and you're only going to be able to type for about 20 minutes. That's another thing we find. So I'm responsible to go, all right, this person, we get a lot of these, a lot of people are lead consume. You know, they'll come to our stuff, they're like, hey, tell me more random shit about me. They have that stupid look on their face. Tell me more random shit about me. And then their story is this random thing about me, this random thing about me. But then the specifics that they'll tell you a lot of times are lies. They're like, I am the most organized person I know. I control everything. I'm super organized. I do the same thing every day. I have a routine. But as they're trying to tell you this lie, that they're lying to themselves, that they're so super controlling, they can't help but change the channel. They can't help but talk about new random stuff. They can't help but say, we'll see. And you're looking for the leak outs. It's like every time you go to write the notes, the gold happens once you like look away and get a drink of water, right? Like they'll be like, I am the most controlling person ever. You're like, most controlling person ever. Then you like take a break and they're like, yeah, but we'll see. You're like, that's what you look for. You're like, wait, what? What? I missed it. You missed it. So at the end of a typing session, everybody has their anecdotes out of context. Well, this person, they said they're controlling and they said they're DE and they said this, and they're like, everybody has their bullshit. And you go, hey, you're responsible to know, is this person, is this client, who are they in the tribe? If they lived with you for a week, would that person really be the DE? Would that super quiet, mopey person who's telling you that they kill themselves for everybody else, are you afraid of them in that realm? Are you afraid that that little silly, tiny, super sleep, introverted mope who's trying to convince you and convince himself he's a sleep last EJ, are you animalistically afraid that guy's going to Karen you Saturday morning? Are you getting that vibe? Are you getting that context? Are you getting that overview summary by the end of getting to know this person for real? And then you go, no, that's not a Karen. That's not an EJ. Well, the guy says he is, but is he? You've got to decide that. And then, of course, the guy that is save or sleep, some observer save or sleep, who wants to be an EJ is going to argue with you and hate you and talk bad about you on Facebook. And your body knows that, so you want to type them what they want to be because you don't want all the fucking drama. But that's what you got to get through. The other thing here, real quick, is you got to know what is the core fear of the actual person. Let me just adjust these as I go because I'm OCD, right? If fucking sensory bothers me, are you paying attention to this kind of shit? I'm not saying it, but it's happening. I can't not fucking fuck with the thing, right, Jan? I'm always fucking with the goddamn thing. I don't fuck with the thing. I have people problems. People are mean to me as I'm controlling shit. You fucking paying attention? You seeing this? And you'll see it in people's videos, their titles, their descriptions, their room, their glasses, their hair, their life story, like who they are in the tribe. You're like, who is this person? Is this the person who's really driven by the fear of things? Or are they driven by the fear of people? And that's going to be layered down. And it's going to take some time to get through all the layers. But you're really asking, what is this person's life problem? What is their brain trying to process? And you got to watch for the switcheroo. Because, for example, the observers, some of them are so traumatized by the thing or the pathway or being stuck or college or insecurity, anxiety, whatever. Thing's not quite centered. Is that they will then send you all these flares of trying to talk about the people, you know? They'll be like, oh yeah, I have all these people problems. And they'll go on and on about people problems. Because they're like, I'm fine with getting out the flow of the people problems. I'm fine about sharing negativity, you know? Observers, yeah, I hate people. Yeah, my mom, I'm feeling so stuck. And my spouse is horrible. And the kids and my boss, sharing constant negativity about people because they're just getting it out. They're just flowing it out. They don't mind sharing. They're not embarrassed about sharing their tribe issues, but they are embarrassed about, yeah, I'm feeling really stuck. Why do I have all these people problems? Why? Because I'm not allowed to move. I'm not allowed to make a new path. I'm not allowed to quit and get a new job. I'm not allowed to start my own business. I'm not allowed to do that pathway because I'm a fucking observer. And they won't fucking tell you that most of the time. But you got to go like, are you really afraid of people, or are you lying to yourself? You're trying to blame the people because you're really afraid to even address your issues of you should be going to college and you're not going to college. You're afraid of the paperwork or whatever, right? The other thing that really helps with the scientific method is like the more you're wrong. This is a big one. Like the one guy here, he's doing really good because he really doubles down on the scientific method. The ISFP guy, he's like very much a believer of this stuff where he's just like, I know I'm fucked. I know I'm delusional. I know I'm wrong all the time. So he's starting with that Neil deGrasse Tyson scientific method of, I know my observations are wrong, right? And that's what I see just everybody who's starting off, or everybody in the Facebook group or whatever, they're not going, my views are wrong. They're going the wrong way. They're saying, prove it to me. Convince me. Like, no, you don't want to ever be thinking that. You don't ever want to be thinking, prove it to me or convince me. That's the wrong energy. That's the wrong way. That's subjective. You want to be going, I'm always wrong. I always get this wrong. I always get this upside down. I always get tricked. I always get lied to. Right? I'm seeing more and more people do that. You want to go that direction. All right, going quick here, jumping down, introvert, extrovert, right? This is a really good one. This is one that we've been using more and more, and this will happen. This will be a useful tool on a good percentage of people, not everybody. The ambiverts, a lot of people in the middle, it's hard to tell. You see other extroverts where they're like, yeah, what you got to do is just do more. I'm stressed, I go out and I do more, and then the crashes come all of a sudden. Like, that's something that some people, like, that'll be the coin that hits you in the face. That's why we kind of set these up on these Google Sheets so we can kind of jump through them faster, because, like, some people, the first thing that hits you in the face is introvert, extrovert, and some people, it's like the last thing you see. You're responsible to go, of the social order, out of all the people that I've been able to study, because I know people of every type, and I've been logging in people that are type. I go over my known information. I know what a blaster is. I know what a sleep person is because that's me. I know what this person is because that's my brother. So you have your foundation. A person comes in, and there's something that is on the edge of the bell curve. That every person is a weirdo in some way, shape, or form. Like, all of us have coins and parts that are somewhere in the middle, and then we all have coins or parts that are way on the edges. And you get the ones on the edges first. So if somebody's way introverted or way extroverted, go after that one first. And then be able to define those terms. It's not necessarily chatty. They talk a lot, so they're an extrovert. No. What are the terms? The terms are, they run away when stressed, they're an introvert. They go outward when stressed, extrovert. So again, the typing procedure is coming from largely a position of pain for the other people. It's not the person's point of view of, they're so good at this, therefore I'm that type. This isn't Myers-Briggs. This isn't astrology. I'm so good at this, says me, therefore I'm that type. That's not at all how we do this here. You are the nut job in your life. Where are you abusing other people in your life? In the tribe, in the archetype, where are you extremely imbalanced? Where do you have a disorder, and that's therefore your type? And then we play the prediction game over and over and over until we're like, all right, we've got it aligned where what this person is saying or what they're about to say or what they're about to say the problem is or the issue is usually that. I don't usually know the sensory, but they're like, yeah, the problem is, and I'll be like, the other guy. They're like, the other guy. Like, there you go. Like, you'll do that several times. I won't know the guy's name. I don't know if he's going to blame his mom or his dad, but it's going to be like some higher up figure, blah, blah, blah. You can go, it's going to be this direction. You can predict that. And not all the time can you predict the sensory. But then at that point, then it should be a complete puzzle of like, okay, therefore the reason why this person is having the problems in their life is they're not doing X, Y, and Z. They're doing way too much of this. And this is what's causing all of the tension and all of the problems, right? And then unfortunately, you can't really share that with them because people go into, no, my point of view is, and you don't know me. You're like, well, okay, I'll just talk to people that are, through that stage.